welcome to another episode of Elevated. I'm your host, the Elevated Engineer. But you all know the usual. Gotta do a quick little sound check before we go ahead and start rocking and rolling. I missed you all last week, but I had my first BJJ tournament last week. So yeah, that was great. No, okay. Spoiler alert. For those that don't know, give me one quick second. But you all know there you go. I had my first BJJ tournament last week. So I won one and I lost two. So that was my results for my first tournament ever. So, not the best results, but I'm happy with it. So I'm not mad. Plus, my coach told me anyway. He was like, "Yeah, their first one, you're probably not gonna do too well anyway." And to be honest, he was right. But let's get into today's episode. So first, I gotta say, rest in peace to the good brother DMX. I want to give that brother a good shout out, and I want to give him the respect that he deserves. So I'm going to do something different. I'm going to give the good brother DMX, the elder DMX, 1 minute of silence. So, with that being said, 1 minute of silence for DMX starting now. All right, so we're back. I wanted to talk about the differences between DMX and another famous man that just died, literally. So this guy, yeah, this guy, Prince Phillip, of Wales. He died actually the same day as DMX, or at least they announced it the same day as DMX. I just wanted to just talk about the differences between how these two men who both died on the same day, how they lived their lives, how they was raised, you know, like if you look at the response, let's say on social media, not the mainstream media, because we know that's that can't be trusted. I mean, Twitter can't be trusted either, but Twitter and social media really kind of gives you a sense of what are on people's mind more so than mainstream media ever could. But I just want to go through the differences of like, just look at the response, look at the love that X got. You know, Mr. Simmons, Earl Simmons, the dark man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. I was going through this guy's, all week. Because, once they announced it, I mean, to be honest, all of us who love DMX, never met him, wish I could have. But all of us who love him, this will sound harsh, but the truth is, this is some variation of how he passed on this way is pretty much how we all kind of seen him checking out. And it's sad to say, but it's the truth. And if you know X, you know it's the truth. It's unfortunate, but, them demons, man, them demons will get you. Them demons got X in the end. And that's why we loved X, because he was always honest about himself. He was always honest about his demons. He was always honest about his trials and tribulations. You know, like it was funny. I'm watching his videos. You know what I mean? Like he sound like a dude from Mount Vernon. You know what I'm saying? Like money earned in Mount Vernon, Yonkers. Like this guy, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, like he really do be like that. Like he really had that energy all the time. That's why I love about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like we talking about this, yeah. And I love him for it. But I mean, just compare it to this guy, you know, Prince, whatever. It's on this side. Prince, whatever is Prince Phillip. You know, like, this guy known for saying racist shit. This guy known for, you know, doing everything he can to be divisive. Not divisive. No, divisive. Doing everything. I mean, we already know about the royal family of England. Yeah, that's the white supremacist family. That's the center. That's the origination of the shit. And we all know that these people were aligned with the Nazis. His wife, when she was young, was aligned with the Nazis before it wasn't cool anymore. You know, the son, Harry. You know, you've seen this guy with Nazi, you know, paraphernalia running around. All these people are monsters. At the end of the day, these people are monsters. But you could look at DMX. DMX came from the gutter, from nothing. You know what I'm saying? Descendant of a slave. From, you know what I'm saying? Out of fucking New York, from the bottom, a child of abuse, got hooked on drugs at what, 13, by somebody he trusted. They laced his, you know, whether it be a joint or a cigarette, whatever it was, they gave him something that he didn't know he was getting, and from there he was hooked. Couldn't break it. But he was also an alcoholic. He also had drug and alcohol problems. They only want to talk about him being on drugs because that's easy. But there are a lot of people who are alcoholics too, who are DMX. And we all got a DMX in our family. Now, compare that to Prince Phillip, who this motherfucker grew up, you know what I'm saying? He didn't grow up as a royal, but he grew up as a damn person who was on his way to being that. Come on now. This guy didn't grow up in a gutter. Get the fuck out of here. Right? Lived to be 99. Accomplished nothing. I'm going to say that. This guy accomplished nothing of import. Nothing. You can't name anything off the top of your head that this guy has accomplished. Now, I'm sure, you know, the trolls will get in there and he you know, but off the top of your head, you can't name something he has done that positively affected mankind. You know that he's a royal. You know he married the queen. We know she ain't shit. But look how much this man has given to the world. People within and outside of his culture and his community, his family, are praising this man. This man was a drug addict. He was from the grimiest dude. He was a criminal. He talked about, you know, bitches, hoes, what these bitches want from a nigga. All this stuff that society says is the worst aspect of society. He was that. He was black. He was a black man. Talked openly about being a heterosexual man, as we should. Clown people for whatever, you know. Fuck you. You know what I mean? But that's who he was. So it's fascinating to me that someone like DMX, who just comes from nothing, can be praised and people blasting his music, people remembering him, all the stuff. Everybody got all these good DMX stories. Everybody got all these dope random Everybody got all these random DMX stories. Like DMX just like show up to a Chinese food spot. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and cook this up. You know what I mean? Let me get that. You want that? You want that chicken wok? You know what I'm saying? Let's go, baby. But that's what you love about him. He lived his life, man. Now, again, contrast that with this other guy. How many times do you hear? I mean, granted, he's old as shit, so people don't, all the people who probably know him are dead. But how many people do you know that just got random Prince Phillip stories? Man? DMX was a prince. You know what I mean? DMX was a prince. You know what I mean? To us, man, let's keep it a buck. Black folks don't look up to at least the black folks who got sense of themselves. Like y'all sell out cool ass non-self-esteem black folks be looking up to these evil ass motherfuckers, but the rest of us, man, we don't look up to these. We don't look up to these motherfuckers. These royal motherfuckers. Like we don't. If the entire royal family got erased off the earth, are you serious? I wouldn't even care. Just keep it in a buck. I don't give a shit about these people. Now, y'all Negroes who ain't got no respect for yourself. Oh, there's a royal wedding. Oh, there's a new royal kid being born. Man, these people don't like you. And they owe us money. Let's keep it a buck. If America owe reparation, these motherfuckers owe us money. For real. Well, it just goes to show you, man, like, with DMX, like, how do you want to be remembered? I mean, look. All right, good. Okay. I'm the elevator engineer. I got my show. I know my audience isn't huge yet. It will be. I'm speaking that to existence. My audience is going to get humongous, especially when I start releasing my products and my patents. Rest and believe. I just haven't done it yet. All y'all getting is really these videos. But these videos are my legacy. When I check out of here, more than likely, these videos are going to last longer than me. Which is why I'm doing it. Because people can say, whatever they want about me after I check out. But they are going to see that, he put that work in. He was trying to help people. He was trying to educate people. Yeah, he lived his life. You know what I'm saying? He messed with the baddest chicks. He had fun. He educated people. He explored the world. He made $1 million. I'm talking about myself. That's what they gonna say about me. He made $1 million. He you know what I'm saying? People are enjoying his products that he made. People are enjoying the contributions, and people are using the contributions, me. People are going to use the contributions that I've made to science. Granted, I'm not gonna make huge. You never know, but it's unlikely that I'm going to make huge strides in science. It's just, I'm only going to be on here for a certain amount of years. So I mean, I hope I do. But the truth is, if this is the entirety of mankind's scientific contribution, this area of space from one point of the finger to the other, I'm going to move us this much. If I'm lucky, if I'm really successful. I put it like this: Einstein moved us this much. That's what I'm saying. So it's your legacy. When you get out here, do you want to be known as a fucking Nazi, fucking, a royal piece of garbage that, truth be told, nobody's gonna remember Prince Phillip. I don't even. Are you crazy? I don't remember Mary Queen. Is it Mary Elizabeth? Whatever this bitch name. I think it's Elizabeth. I don't even remember her parents. Well, I wasn't alive when they were alive because she's 950 years old. But I don't. You remember some royals. You remember. The thing is, you really only remember the bad ones, the really bad ones, like Henry VIII. You remember him? Yeah, we definitely remember him because he changed the whole game. He actually, whether you agree with him or not, he's a bad person, maybe, but he changed England, and you remember what he did. Protestant Reformation. He divorced his wife because she couldn't give him any male heirs. The Catholic, the Pope didn't want to grant him a divorce because it was against Catholic religion to get divorced. So he converted himself to Christianity, Protestant, and the whole country Protestant. So, he used it to his advantage. But you remember it? What the hell does this guy do? What did he do? Matter of fact, what has Elizabeth ever done for humanity other than collect checks? Oh, I'm going to say brand ambassador. That's essentially what they are. They're English brand. They're brand ambassadors for England. But yeah, I'm an ambassador. But I spread goodwill. What goodwill have they ever spread? The only thing they ever spread was the hate towards Diana. These people are. I mean, they're monsters. We all know it. We just try to pretend like they're not. DMX wasn't no damn monster. He was a beast. He wasn't no monster. You know what I'm saying? That's why people are going to remember DMX a lot longer and a lot more fondly than they will remember Prince Phillip. Okay? It's just the way it's got to be. Look. And you can see, it's funny, I shaved my head, today. Y'all can see. Because my line was looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's funny because people actually think I'm bald. I'm not. I just shaved my head because it was convenient. Then I started enjoying it. But my head, I basically look kind of like DMX. I wish I could, hold it down like X. You know what I'm saying? But I'm me. But I can guarantee you this, just like Nipsey, just like Tupac, Big, DMX gonna live on with us. I was bumping this shit all day today. DMX gonna live, you know what I'm saying, with me. His spirit is gonna live on with me. And I think that's all he could do. That's all we all could do. Have our spirits live on through the people who listen to us, who care about us. And it's important about how you carry yourself, how you want to be remembered. So, with that being said, next topic. I haven't actually had a chance to watch this yet. So it's going to be interesting. And I'm not just saying that because it makes me sound like I'm trying to be innocent or some shit or innocent, but it makes me sound like, this is another, nah, man, I haven't seen this. As a matter of fact, I've been sitting on this thing for a little over a week. But the topic is, there's a company called IonQ, and as you can tell from the title, it's going to become the first publicly traded quantum computing company, which I thought was interesting as hell, of course, because let's go. I'm getting excited about quantum computing again. And I'm not just grasping at straws. But let me get this video started. So give you some comments, my commentary, and tell you all what I think about it.
Why SPAC and why now?
Hey.
Oh my God, I love Emily Chang. Ugh. Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thanks for having me on today. Well, as you mentioned in your intro, quantum computing is an entirely new paradigm for computing. And as with many technologies, it requires a significant investment to bring them to market. And becoming a public company gives us access to capital and resources to make quantum a reality.
So, mainstream quantum computing, though, how close is that really? We heard from the CEO of IBM earlier. He's really bullish on it. He said 3 to 5 years. I spoke to another CEO who's in a position to know, who says it is a long ways off.
Yep. Well, first is I would say that different technologies have different horizons. Some of them, like ours, we also think is in the 3 to 5 years. But I think there's other technologies in quantum which are still 30 years away. I do think that this is the companies that make the devices are probably, have the advantage point in terms of being able to predict when they think they can bring a product to market.
That's very important. I'm not sure if y'all heard what he said, but what he said was the companies who are actually in the hardware space of quantum computing are in the best position right now because they're kind of going to be able to dictate really which products are going to be most useful for the quantum computing space. So I think that's going to be important going for the hardware. Of course, we need the hardware to be improved because right now, of course, the quantum computing, the costs associated with maintaining it are astronomical. So let's keep going.
So how do you believe quantum computing will change our lives as we know it and tackle real world problems? Like what will be different possible as a result?
Quantum computing, many people expect that quantum computers will be able to solve many of mankind's kind of grand challenges, everything from direct carbon capture to new drug discovery, new batteries, solving strong AI, improving machine learning. Since we're talking about just a much bigger computer, it's kind of hard to say where it won't be used. And I do think it's kind of an interesting question. If you were to go back to Intel and ask them in the 1970s, what did they think those little microprocessors were going to be used for? The answer back then was it was going to make a great calculator. And they couldn't really foresee the internet or cell phones happening. I think we're in that same place today with quantum. There's a bunch of things that we know about today that we use classical computers for. But I bet you 20 years from now, we'll look back at this and people will look at my answer and go, wow, you couldn't have imagined X, Y, and Z. And so we're exactly the same place, kind of.
So I'm talking about right there, man. I believe quantum computing within 20 years will probably change the game on a lot of stuff we take for granted, man. A lot of stuff that we just need in terms of processing power, in terms of solving a lot of problems that classical computers just can't do, like cybersecurity problems. So, yeah, he said within 20 years, yeah, you probably could be like, damn, I never seen. That's why I do this stuff, because I want to be like 20 years. I know I'm going to be a millionaire. I already know that for a fact. But I want somebody to come behind me, use the skill set that I'm using or that I'm trying to lace people on, and become a freaking billionaire. And I want in 20 years for there to be black tech billionaires with just as much power and clout as any of these other guys.
Quantum, as we were in the 1970s.
You mentioned carbon capture, and I know Bill Gates' Breakthrough Energy is one of your investors. You also worked at Amazon as the director of engineering for Prime for many years, and I'm curious, how could quantum computing revolutionize a company like Amazon?
Well, so quantum computing is good at solving optimization problems with a cost function. And so it turns.
I was just about to say this before he goes any further. if someone were to ask me that same thing, I would say optimizing business processing. Amazon's a huge company, so they could use quantum computing to really try to get their AI game popping. They could use quantum computing to better understand their customers. They could use quantum computing to better understand where they can just put their resources best. I know in terms of like big data, that's where it's at. But the thing about quantum computing is we're talking about having this scaled like globally. So it's just a lot. Let's see what he says though.
Turns out many business problems can be converted into an optimization problem. So as an example, what is the optimal route to deliver a package to the consumer? That's something that logistics companies are extremely interested in. Because if you can just shave off a mile or two off of a driver's daily delivery route, you can save a great deal of money. So for somebody like Amazon on the Amazon.com side, not the AWS side, they should have a lot of interest in the logistics applications for quantum. And then, of course, you mentioned Bill Gates. There, it's things like direct carbon capture and better batteries, and even chemical applications. It turns out that in the production of fertilizer is one of the most polluting industries on the planet.
When he says stuff like basically what he just said on the fertilizer game, and in terms of like Microsoft game, like hold on, let me go back what he said.
Action applications for quantum. And then, of course, you mentioned Bill Gates. There, it's things like direct carbon capture and better batteries.
That's what I want.
And even
when he's talking about like better batteries, okay, so I'm talking about with the use of quantum computing, we can have rechargeable batteries that recharge. And what? Okay, so let's say it takes an hour for my phone to charge from zero, right? Because we have quantum computing, because we can process things at an exponentially higher rate than classical computing, you can actually build a rechargeable battery using quantum computing that would significantly shave the time it takes to recharge anything. Whereas it takes an hour with the right hardware and the right, quantum computing applications, we're talking about shaving it down to minutes. Minutes. Maybe even seconds. Do you hear me now? All right, then. Let's keep it moving.
Chemical applications. It turns out that in the production of fertilizer is one of the most polluting industries on the planet. It accounts for about 1% of all the carbon emissions. But bacteria know how to do it in soils without any extra energy. So we just don't have a classical computer that can do that modeling. But with a quantum computer, we'll be able to do it. And we can unlock the secrets of how nature does it without polluting the environment. So it's these kinds of things that we think quantum computers are going to be good for.
Not to get too deep, but do you think that quantum will get us closer to the singularity where computers won't just be able to process the things we want to?
Oh, I know we were about to head there. I didn't know, but I had a feeling, and that's why I know he's laughing. For those of us who don't know what the singularity is, they're talking about the point in time when artificial intelligence surpasses human processing power and has the ability to make decisions for itself. We're kind of already there. To be honest, with quantum computing, it's a little different though, because I know I've explained this in previous shows, but at its very most basic form, classical computers use zeros and ones. The quantum computing use zeros, ones, and anything in between that, meaning your qubit can be either 0 or 1, depends on when it's observed. So basically at its core, your quantum computing will actually have the ability to make a choice between, anything. And that's what makes classical different from quantum. Classical is just zeros and one. It's either 0 or is 1. Quantum computing can be whatever it wants.
But will actually be able to understand
Well,
what we're asking them to do?
So, first, before I started,
basically the singularity is when AI gains sentience, or when we get into a philosophy course, but gains as close to sentience as, well, life.
at Amazon, I worked with Ray Kurzweil for 7 years. So I'm very familiar with Ray and the singularity, and he's a good friend. The short answer is yes. Actually, myself am extremely interested in strong AI, and I think there's good reason to believe that a quantum computer will be able to unlock that as well. So I'm particularly hopeful there. That's a little speculative today, but I think in the next couple of years you'll start to see that quantum computing can help there as well.
All right. So what do we think? I think you better start studying this shit. You better start paying attention, because this stuff is coming, man. These technologies are coming down the pipe, and we need to be aware. Okay, we need to be aware. This company is going public. It's interesting because I'm speaking about things that are happening in real time. So it's interesting to see that happen. I believe that we need to, as black folk, we need to understand that this is the future. And if you keep playing, like you go get that, God, like if you go get that record deal or you go get into the NBA, you're going to lose. That's it. Like, honestly, like this is like what's his name? Kevin Samuels. Like when Kevin Samuels be telling like them females, like, yo, if you don't, you 40 years old, you got 3 kids, two babies' fathers, you're done. You need to focus on getting your stuff right. Because unless you meet another guy with kids, you know what I mean? That is the equivalent of you not paying attention, black folk not paying attention to these technologies that I'm talking about, these applications that I'm building, these trends that I'm trying to put you on game, because I'm going to be all right. Okay, I'm ahead technologically. I'm ahead of 99% of the people on the planet in terms of my expertise in technology. That's just the truth. That's not me being cocky. This is not me thinking I'm better than anyone or I'm the smartest person in the room. No, that's the truth. It's not because I have a couple of degrees in technology and working on my third one. It's not because, well, I should say, it isn't only because that. It's not because I have a tech company, a startup, and it's not my first one. It's not because I've worked extensively in IT and development and cybersecurity in the private sector, the public sector, and every other sector. Okay? It's because I've been dealing with technology, learning how technology works since I was like 5 or 4. I was coding, not seriously, but I was screw that. I was coding in C++. Whatever. Maybe C++, I think, when I was like 10 or 11. Okay? I was building apps. Building video games, actually. Salute to anybody remember Mugen? Mugen? Remember Mugen? Yeah, that was coding, bro. And that was back in, I was probably 12, 13 when that stuff started. Okay? So I've been doing this for a while. So, you should really listen. Because this stuff is not only is it going to make you money, but this is technology, STEM is what's going to save black folks. And I don't mean getting a job. Look at the numbers. They ain't hiring us. We need to start building our own companies, building our own infrastructure. Can you imagine a black internet, not a black social media, not a black website? I'm talking about a black owned, operated internet. Like AT&T basically has their own internet with Comcast along with the government. Imagine a black owned internet that passed all the regulation, all that stuff. That's just normal. Oh yeah. Oh, that's the black net, oh, there's them black folks. Oh no, they built the first quantum internet. Black folks did in America, just like we built everything else. No, yeah. That's what they do. Oh, you ain't heard? And I'm talking about, obviously, I'm trying to speak this shit into existence, but you ain't heard? Now, black folks, they're the most technologically advanced here in America. They're the most technologically advanced people as a group on the planet. Oh, no, they surpass the Japanese. That's what I want people to say about black folks in 20, 30, 40, 50 years. That's what I want. Not that we play good basketball, that we're rappers. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the hell white people want us to be. That's not what I want. I want the legacy of black folks to be we the best technology related group of people on the planet. So that's the legacy I want to leave. Yeah. So next topic. Finally. Oh my God. So the latest Get on Code episode, I'm trying to do that and have it finished by this weekend. Give me a second. I just wanted to show you guys just a little bit. I think that's my Python stuff. Yes, it is. All right. So basically, you see the code right here. I'm using this app, Telegram. You can see the little dog. Okay, you can't see the dogs. Okay, but I'm using this little Telegram app. Let me go ahead and actually let you be able to see. Okay, you can see the little dogs and stuff right there right now, right? But first you gotta. Let me see. You know what? I hate doing live testing things, but I'm gonna do a live testing thing today before our battery runs out. Because you never know what could happen. But I'm using PyCharm right now. Eventually, I'm gonna convert this to an online web app using Colab before I finalize it. But let's just see if it works. So basically, I'm using a Telegram app, and every time I send it a specific bot command, it's going to send back a picture, I hope, of a dog. So let's see if it works. So let's just click bot. Oh, you know what? I might have. Oh, no, it did work. It did work. But as you can see, it's working. It's working. Hold on. As you can see, God damn. When I have PyCharm open, you can see that when I do the bop, it actually sends the message through my Python interpreter to the server. Server gets a message, server responds, server sends it back to my Python interpreter. Python interpreter sends it back to Telegram, and then a picture of a dog shows up. So let's press bop again on Telegram. And this time you'll see it from the Python's point of view. Okay. Nothing happened. Right? But you switch over to the Telegram view and you see another dog show up. Let's do it again. Let's make sure. Right? Okay, it sends that. So every time I press bot, it sends me, the server responds by sending me a picture of a dog. So that's going to be the basis of the program. Let's close that out. Yeah, so that's going to be the basis of this Get on Code episode, which is really about using a bot, a Python bot, to do like, cumbersome tasks. So basically using Python to do tasks that you just want to automate. You just want to be like, here's a button and let it do it. This is good for when you're scraping data. Let's say you have a client or you're working for whoever, you have to scrape data periodically, let's say twice a day. You could set this Python bot to be able to get that data periodically as you want, whatever interval you want to do. This is good for AI, the beginnings of AI, I should say, and Python experience, of course, and web scraping. So yeah, this could be very useful for that. I hope you are going to enjoy it. It's taken me a while to fix it and get it ready. Like I said, I'll try to have it finished by the end of this weekend. We'll see. You know me. So, with that being said, thank you. Oh, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. You guys, the more comments you leave, likes and stuff, the more my stuff will reach people. The more, people can come get on code, can come watch Elevated, learn some stuff from me, the Elevated Engineer, and keep growing, keep this platform growing. Of course, the end goal is to not rely solely on YouTube or Facebook, any of those social media. I'm building my platform, ultrarealitytechnologies.com, which is my company's website, which will be, of course, is a platform that is going to be growing. We're moving, we're cooking. So this last video comes out, it just adds more to it. So with that being said, thank you for watching this week's episode of Elevated. I am your host, the Elevated Engineer. Oh man, and again, salute to my man, DMX. Thank you, Mr. Simmons, for teaching me, for giving me that motivation I need, for being honest. He's like an older brother or uncle or elder or teacher. Either way, thank you so much for all your contributions. We always give you your light, your cloth and all that good when you was alive, but we gonna keep doing it after you gone. Salute. That's it.